What if I told you that a single royal signature has allegedly triggered absolute chaos behind palace walls? Because according to explosive whispers circulating through royal circles, King Charles may have just made the most shocking decision of his reign, and the timing couldn't be more suspicious. Late one evening, while the public believed everything inside the monarchy was business as usual, a private meeting reportedly took place behind closed doors. No cameras, no public schedule, no official explanation. And when details supposedly began leaking out, even longtime royal watchers were left stunned. The name at the center of the storm? Princess Anne, for decades, and has quietly carried out her duties while others dominated headlines. She rarely seeks attention, rarely fuels controversy, and almost never finds herself at the center of royal drama. But now, everything has changed, because insiders are allegedly claiming that King Charles has entrusted and with extraordinary new responsibility, one so significant that some are calling it a turning point for the future of the monarchy itself. And that's where the story takes a shocking turn, because not everyone is said to be celebrating. Behind the scenes, whispers of tension, panic, and growing uncertainty are reportedly spreading through royal circles. Questions are being asked. Loyalties are being tested. And one mysterious decision has sparked speculation about what may really be happening inside the royal family. Was this simply a reward for decades of loyalty? Or is there a much bigger reason King Charles acted now? And if the rumors are true, the answer could leave the entire nation stunned. Stay with us, because what allegedly happened next is far more dramatic than anyone expected. For years, Princess Anne has been known as the royal family's ultimate workhorse. While other members of the monarchy found themselves surrounded by scandals, controversies, and endless media storms, and built a reputation for something very different: discipline, loyalty, and relentless service. But according to royal insiders, that reputation may be exactly why King Charles recently made a decision that has everyone talking. To understand why this alleged appointment is causing such a massive reaction, you first need to understand the unique relationship between Charles and Anne. Unlike many royal relationships that are carefully managed in public, their bond stretches back decades. They grew up together under extraordinary pressure, navigating life inside one of the world's most famous institutions. And according to people familiar with palace dynamics, Anne became one of the very few people Charles completely trusted. Not because she always agreed with him, but because she was willing to tell him things nobody else would. That trust reportedly became even more important following the death of Queen Elizabeth. Suddenly, Charles wasn't simply a prince waiting for his turn. He was king. And with that title came enormous challenges. Public scrutiny intensified. Family divisions became global headlines. The monarchy faced questions about its future. And behind closed doors, insiders claimed Charles began relying more heavily than ever on a small circle of trusted figures. Princess Anne was allegedly at the very center of that circle. But then another problem reportedly emerged. The monarchy itself was changing. Several senior royals stepped away from public duties. Others became involved in controversies that generated unwanted attention. The number of working royals carrying the institution's daily workload reportedly became smaller and smaller. As pressure increased, Anne continued doing what she had always done: showing up, working, serving, without complaint, without drama, without demanding recognition. And according to sources King Charles noticed. In fact, some insiders claim discussions about giving Anne a more significant role began months ago. At first, very few people took those rumors seriously. After all, royal traditions rarely change overnight. But then a series of unusual events reportedly started unfolding behind palace walls. Private meetings, confidential discussions, unscheduled consultations, and whispers that major constitutional planning was quietly taking place. That's when royal observers allegedly began asking an uncomfortable question. Was King Charles preparing for something? The speculation intensified when reports emerged that senior palace officials were reviewing contingency plans for future royal operations. Officially, nothing unusual was happening. Unofficially, however, insiders claim conversations became increasingly urgent. And then came the moment nobody expected. According to multiple palace sources, a highly confidential discussion allegedly took place involving Charles and Anne. The details remain unclear. The contents remain secret. But what happened afterward reportedly changed everything. Because shortly after that meeting, rumors exploded that Princess Anne had been given an extraordinary new level of trust and responsibility. Some celebrated. Others were reportedly stunned. And a few insiders claimed certain figures inside royal circles were absolutely furious. But nobody could have predicted what allegedly happened next. Because just as the story appeared to be settling down, a shocking leak surfaced that threatened to turn the entire situation upside down. And if those reports are true, the real drama was only beginning. Just when palace insiders thought the situation could be managed quietly, everything allegedly exploded. According to sensational reports circulating through royal circles, details of King Charles's private decision began leaking far sooner than anyone expected. And the reaction was immediate. Within hours, social media platforms were reportedly flooded with speculation about why Princess Anne had suddenly become the center of one of the biggest royal stories of the year. At first, most people assumed it was simply a reward for decades of loyal service. But then a shocking rumor emerged. According to an alleged palace insider, the decision wasn't just about honoring Anne. It was about preparing for a future emergency. That single claim sent royal watchers into a frenzy. Suddenly, headlines, commentators, and online forums were all asking the same question. What exactly was King Charles preparing for? Behind the scenes, sources claimed tensions began rising inside certain royal circles. One anonymous insider allegedly told a media outlet that several palace figures were caught completely off guard by the speed of the decision. Another claimed that private conversations quickly became heated as questions about succession planning and royal authority started spreading. Whether those claims were true or not, the rumors refused to die. Then came the leak that changed everything. A post allegedly appeared on a private royal discussion forum before being deleted minutes later. But screenshots had already spread. The post claimed that Charles had personally insisted on moving forward despite objections from certain advisors. Even more shocking, the anonymous source alleged that the king told aides he wanted absolute certainty, that the institution would remain stable no matter what happened in the months ahead. Nobody could verify the claim, but by then, verification hardly mattered. The internet was already on fire. Thousands of comments appeared within hours. One viral post read, "Anne has always been the monarchy's secret weapon. Charles knows it." Another responded, "If emergency planning is really happening, then something bigger must be going on." As the debate intensified, new rumors began emerging from inside the palace. Some claimed Anne was surprised by the scale of responsibility being discussed. Others insisted she accepted immediately, without hesitation. But one alleged leak created the biggest shock of all. According to a source claiming to have knowledge of the meeting, Charles didn't merely offer Anne a symbolic role. He allegedly told her that the future stability of the monarchy could depend on her. That statement, if true, would completely transform the story. This was no longer about recognition. This was about power, responsibility, and the future of the crown itself. As news organizations began picking up the rumors, palace officials reportedly found themselves battling an avalanche of speculation. Questions kept coming. Why now? Why Anne? Why was everything handled so quietly? Then, just when the controversy seemed impossible to get bigger, another unexpected development allegedly emerged. A second insider claimed that a confidential document connected to the decision contained provisions far more significant than anyone had realized. The source refused to reveal details, but they made one explosive statement before ending the conversation. According to them, the public still hadn't learned the most shocking part of the story. And if that hidden information ever became public, it could completely change how people viewed King Charles's decision. What exactly was hidden inside that document? And why were insiders suddenly refusing to speak about it? The answers were reportedly about to trigger an even bigger royal storm. If palace insiders thought the controversy would calm down, they were completely mistaken. Because over the next 48 hours, The story allegedly exploded beyond royal circles and became a full-blown national obsession. Everywhere people looked, the same question was being asked. What was King Charles not telling the public? The rumors became so intense that social media platforms were reportedly flooded with theories, leaked screenshots, and anonymous claims from people who insisted they had inside knowledge of the situation. Most of those claims could not be verified, but that didn't stop the speculation. In fact, it only made things worse. Then came the development that allegedly sent shockwaves through the palace. According to a source who claimed to have connections to senior royal staff, the mysterious document wasn't the only thing discussed during Charles and Anne's private meeting. There was allegedly a second conversation. A conversation so sensitive that only a handful of people were supposedly aware it had taken place. And the topic of that discussion immediately triggered panic among royal watchers. Future leadership. The source claimed Charles spent a significant portion of the meeting discussing long-term plans for protecting the monarchy during a period of unprecedented uncertainty. Nobody knew exactly what that meant, but the implications were enormous. Almost instantly, social media erupted. One viral post gained hundreds of thousands of views after claiming, "This isn't about today. Charles is planning for tomorrow." Another wrote, "The palace knows something the public doesn't." The theory spread like wildfire. Television commentators began debating the rumors. Royal analysts started dissecting every public appearance. Even old photographs and video clips suddenly became subjects of intense scrutiny. People were searching for clues everywhere. Then the situation allegedly became even more dramatic. A popular royal commentator claimed to have spoken with someone close to palace operations. According to that source, Charles had become increasingly determined to strengthen the monarchy's inner circle following months of private concern about stability. The source allegedly claimed that Anne's appointment was only one piece of a much larger strategy. That statement immediately changed the narrative. Because if Anne's new role was only one piece of the puzzle, what were the other pieces? The questions multiplied overnight. And then came the reveal nobody expected. An anonymous account that had previously shared accurate royal information allegedly posted a cryptic message. The message contained only one sentence, and wasn't the first choice. Within minutes, the internet exploded. Who was the first choice? Why were they passed over? What happened behind closed doors? Speculation reached levels rarely seen in royal coverage. Some claimed the statement was fake. Others insisted it pointed toward a hidden disagreement within the palace. Meanwhile, major news outlets began reporting on the growing controversy surrounding the rumors. Although none could confirm the claims, the public fascination continued growing. Then another alleged insider stepped forward, and what they claimed left everyone stunned. According to the source, disagreements had erupted behind the scenes shortly before the final decision was made. The source refused to name individuals, but they insisted there were competing opinions about how the monarchy should move forward. Suddenly, what had started as a story about Princess Anne was turning into something much bigger. A story about influence,
power, trust,
and the future direction of the royal family itself. But just when people thought they had uncovered the truth, a final leak appeared online late one evening. The post disappeared less than 20 minutes later, yet screenshots spread everywhere. The message allegedly claimed that another major royal announcement was already being prepared behind closed doors. If true, it would explain everything. If false, it was one of the biggest royal rumors in years. Either way, one thing became clear. The controversy was far from over. In fact, according to several insiders, the most explosive reactions were still waiting to happen. And what happened next would divide royal supporters like never before. By the time the rumors reached their peak, the story had completely taken over social media. What started as whispers inside royal circles had transformed into a nationwide debate, with millions of people suddenly choosing sides. And the reactions were anything but calm. Supporters of Princess Anne immediately rallied behind her. Across social media, countless users praised her decades of service, arguing that if anyone deserved greater responsibility, it was Anne. One viral post reportedly read, "For years, Anne carried the monarchy while everyone else got the headlines. This is long overdue." That comment alone generated thousands of replies. Many agreed. Others strongly disagreed. And that's when the controversy exploded into something far bigger than anyone expected. Critics began questioning the secrecy surrounding the alleged decision. If everything is normal, why was it handled behind closed doors? One user wrote. Another asked, what aren't we being told? Those questions spread rapidly. Soon, hashtags related to the controversy were trending across multiple platforms. Every hour seemed to bring another theory, another rumor, another supposed insider leak. Then celebrities and public figures allegedly started weighing in. A well-known television personality posted a cryptic message saying, "Sometimes the biggest stories are the ones nobody wants discussed." The post immediately went viral. Royal commentators spent hours debating what it meant. Was it connected to Anne? Was it connected to Charles? Or was it simply fueling the growing chaos? Nobody knew, but the uncertainty only increased public interest. Meanwhile, news organizations reportedly began covering the public reaction itself. Some outlets highlighted Anne's popularity. Others focused on the growing speculation surrounding palace operations. Panels of commentators argued back and forth on television. Newspapers published competing theories. Experts disagreed openly. And viewers couldn't get enough. The division became impossible to ignore. One side argued that Anne represented stability, experience, and duty. The other side claimed the rumors revealed deeper concerns about the future of the monarchy. Every debate seemed to create three more. Then came another unexpected twist. According to reports circulating online, several former royal staff members were allegedly contacted by journalists seeking answers. Most refused to comment. A few offered carefully worded statements. But one former palace employee allegedly made a remark that instantly became headline news.
The source reportedly said,
"People should pay attention to the timing." That was it. Just one sentence. Yet it triggered an entirely new wave of speculation. What timing? Why was timing important? What was happening behind the scenes? Social media exploded once again. Some believed the comment confirmed concerns about future planning. Others insisted it proved nothing. The arguments grew more intense with every passing day. Meanwhile, Anne herself remained completely silent. No interviews, no public response, no attempt to address the rumors. And strangely enough, that silence may have fueled the controversy more than any statement ever could. Because the less she said, the more people speculated. The less the palace explained, the more theories emerged. By now, the story was no longer just about a royal title. It had become a battle over perception, a battle over trust, a battle over what the future of the monarchy might actually look like. And then, just as the public debate reached its most explosive point, a new claim allegedly surfaced from inside royal circles. A claim so shocking that it threatened to rewrite the entire story from the beginning. If the allegation was true, then everything people thought they knew about King Charles's decision was about to change. And the biggest twist of all was still waiting to be revealed. Just when the controversy seemed impossible to get any bigger, a stunning new rumor allegedly emerged from deep inside royal circles. And if the claim was true, it changed absolutely everything. According to a supposed insider, the mysterious document everyone had been discussing was never the real story. It was a distraction. A carefully controlled piece of information designed to keep public attention focused on one announcement while something much larger was happening behind the scenes. The allegations spread across social media like wildfire. Within hours, thousands of people were asking the same question. What was the palace trying to hide? Then came the leak that allegedly sent shockwaves through royal watchers. A source claimed that during private discussions, King Charles had expressed concern not merely about current events, but about the monarchy's future 10 years from now. That single claim triggered a frenzy. Suddenly, people weren't talking about a title anymore. They were talking about succession, influence, power, and long-term survival. The speculation became so intense that online forums crashed under the volume of comments. One viral post claimed, "Charles isn't planning for today. He's planning for a future nobody else sees coming." Another wrote, Anne's appointment is only the first move. The phrase first move immediately became the center of attention. First move toward what? Nobody seemed to know. Then a second alleged insider stepped forward with an even more explosive story. According to the source, several senior figures were shocked by how quickly Charles finalized his decision. The source claimed some expected months of discussion. Instead, the decision reportedly moved forward with surprising speed.
Why?
That was the mystery nobody could answer. Then everything became even more dramatic. A journalist known for covering royal affairs posted a cryptic message late at night. The message contained only 9 words. The next announcement will be bigger than anyone expects. No explanation, no context, no details, just 9 words. Within minutes, the internet erupted. Some believed another major royal appointment was coming. Others believed a significant restructuring of royal responsibilities was already underway. The theories multiplied by the hour. Meanwhile, according to the rumor mill, palace officials were becoming increasingly frustrated by the constant speculation. Yet the more silence they maintained, the louder the theories became. And then came the most shocking allegation of all. A source claimed that Anne herself had initially hesitated before accepting the responsibility being discussed. Not because she doubted her ability, but because she understood exactly how much pressure would follow. If true, that revelation painted a completely different picture. This wasn't a celebration. This wasn't a reward. This was a burden, a responsibility, a role that could place enormous expectations on her shoulders at one of the most uncertain moments in modern royal history. The public reaction was immediate. Many praised Anne's sense of duty. Others questioned whether anyone should carry that level of responsibility. But before the debate could settle, another rumor surfaced. And this one sent social media into absolute chaos. According to an anonymous account claiming insider knowledge, a confidential meeting had allegedly been scheduled involving several key royal figures. No agenda was revealed. No details were provided. Yet speculation exploded instantly. Was another major decision coming? Was the monarchy preparing for a significant change? Or was the entire story spiraling out of control? Nobody knew. And, perhaps most importantly, nobody could prove anything. But that uncertainty became the fuel driving the entire drama. Because every unanswered question created 3 new ones. Every rumor generated 10 more. And every attempt to explain the situation only seemed to deepen the mystery. Now royal watchers find themselves waiting. Waiting for answers. Waiting for confirmation. Waiting for the next development that could completely transform the story yet again. Because if the whispers are even partially true, then King Charles's shocking decision may be remembered as the moment everything began to change. And, according to the latest rumors, the next chapter may be even more dramatic than the first. The only question is, when will the public discover what really happened behind those palace walls? And when they do, will the monarchy ever be the same again? What do you think about this shocking royal drama? Did King Charles make the right decision by reportedly placing so much trust in Princess Anne? Or do you believe there is a much bigger story hiding behind the scenes that the public still hasn't discovered? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now because this debate is dividing royal fans across the world. And here's the question everyone is asking. Was this truly a reward for decades of loyalty and service? Or was it part of a much larger plan for the future of the monarchy? We want to hear your opinion. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest royal updates, shocking developments, and exclusive insider reports. Because if the rumors continue spreading at the current pace, this story may be far from over. New claims are already beginning to surface. More questions are being asked. And according to sources, there could be another major royal development just around the corner. Will the palace finally respond? Will new information emerge? Or will the mystery surrounding Princess Anne's powerful new role continue to grow? One thing is certain, the world is watching, and we'll be here to cover every twist, every rumor, and every shocking update the moment it happens. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and keep your eyes on the royal family. Because this story may have started with a title, But it could end with a revelation nobody saw coming.